it's Vanessa the Crafty Gemini. I post weekly how-to video tutorials right here on my YouTube channel, and in this video we're kicking off episode number 3 of Weight Loss Wednesdays. So if you've just joined this series, it's called Weight Loss Wednesdays, and I started this series because so many of you inquired about my huge weight loss, right? You can see that I've lost about 70 pounds. If you go back and watch older videos, you see the drastic difference. If you missed episodes 1 and 2, make sure you click right here. I'll send you right to the playlist where all the videos in Weight Loss Wednesdays will be archived. Now in this episode, I wanted to share with you 2 quick changes that I made to eat a healthier diet. And those 2 changes were 1, changing the oils we were cooking with, and 2, changing the sugar that we were cooking with. So number 1 is the oil. So the oils that I currently use to cook with are coconut oil, and I use the extra virgin coconut oil, which still has that coconut taste. You can also find ones that don't have that taste in case you don't like to have that flavor when you're cooking savory foods or like pan frying something. I like to use coconut oil for sauteing and for pan frying things because it has a high smoke point. You can heat it up to 350 degrees without having any problems. Okay, then secondly, I would say second to the coconut oil, the next thing we use a lot of is butter. And then after that, I say I use lard. We use pastured lard from homegrown pigs that are grown on pasture, all natural and fed organic feed. And then another oil that I use also is rendered duck fat. And so those are the 4 oils that I currently cook with: coconut oil, butter, lard, and duck fat. Okay, also let me not forget to mention olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil is a very healthy oil to use. I just don't use it to cook my meals with because it doesn't have that high of a smoke point like the coconut oil or the lard, right? So the olive oil, I use it to dress my salads or to drizzle on the food after, say, I steam some vegetables. I'll just drizzle a little olive oil after it's already been cooked so that I ensure that I'm not heating that olive oil past whatever the smoke point is. Now, the second thing that we did was to change the sugars that we were using. I mean, I cook most of my foods from scratch, but I was still using like white sugar, regular sugar, you know, that you get at your grocery store. So in the past couple years, we got rid of using white refined sugars, and we don't really cook with any refined sugars anymore. When a recipe calls for sugar, I will use organic evaporated cane juice or sucanat. You can find it at your health food store. I'll include some links on some online sources for it. And nowadays, you can pretty much find them at your local supermarket as well, okay? And then we also use a lot of honey. We use raw local honey that we get from a local friend who has her beehives here in town. And then I use maple syrup as well. I use maple syrup, the organic evaporated cane juice or the sucanat, right? And the honey. And that's pretty much all the sugars that we use in my house. Obviously, we cut back on the amount of sugar that we were using as well, but we did change completely to no refined sugars and just using those 3, okay? And so you may be thinking that the oils that I mentioned are not necessarily healthy, like the lard or the duck fat. Obviously, if you're vegan or vegetarian, you're not going to incorporate that into your diet, but traditionally speaking, and going by the things that we follow in the traditional diet, as it's illustrated in this Nourishing Traditions book that I recommend. This is the cookbook that we follow a lot from here in my house. These are healthy fats for you to eat, just like our ancestors used to eat. So that's what I've been incorporating. And so a lot of people find it very funny, or some people may not even believe it, that I've been able to lose 70 pounds and all I cook with is butter and lard and coconut oil, right? And so that's what we eat. That's what we use here. I put butter on everything. We use lard to cook up our foods and meats, and I eat pork. And I mean, that's just the diet that I've chosen to follow. As well as the sugars. A lot of people think that to lose weight, they have to cut out their sugar completely. Of course, sugar, we all know any type of sugar is not going to be super healthy for you, right? But of course, the unrefined sugars are going to have more nutrients in them than the super refined sugars. So we did cut back on the amount of sugar that we use and we cook with, but I didn't have to just leave my sweets completely. I like to bake. I like to make cookies. The kids love to make cupcakes and things like that. And so we've just used the unrefined sugars and using more natural methods of getting that little sweet taste into our diet. So for those of you that may have been wondering if I was following some type of low-fat diet, absolutely not. I have just cut back on the amount that I'm eating. And I think that that really has made a difference. So in the next video, I'll tell you a little bit about portion size and what I did to control my overeating. And that's it for this episode of Weight Loss Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit it with the thumbs up below, share it across the different social media sites, and leave me a comment below and let me know what kinds of oils and sugars you cook with. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.